I don't mean to be. I don't mean to be the way I am sometimes, but we didn't see Antonio Guterres at the White House during this negotiation in two parts between Putin and Trump. For Trump to be the main actor is depressing in many, many respects. His diversion into the voting with mail-in ballots was just what we call off topic when we're talking about relationships online or in meetings. It's just off topic. Of course, Ukraine needs to have elections. The United States has a great tradition of having elections during wartime. So that's what that part of it came from. The other issue for me is that it's depressing that the lessons of World War I and World War II were that we had to have some kind of world mediator, which was created as the United Nations. The United Nations became corrupt and corrupted by despotic nations that were given good standing and the ability to take over positions at the United Nations that were antithetical to principles of peace. And you can't have a world without war. If you have a world government, all wars are civil. They're all civil wars. You need to have a United Nations that has an army of its own that is triggered by understood, known, reported violations of international law. International law, now I believe this, comes more from the laws developed around the oceans and maritime law than anywhere else. Maritime law is the basis for international law, from my point of view. And I see the network as Sally Payne sees the oceans as the network that needs to be assured towards international trade, which is civilian operation of trade. Now, here we have this war that is threatening to severely to become World War III. We have to stop Putin. And Putin believes in recreating the USSR as a baby Stalin, is what I call him. And he needs to be condemned. If the media condemned Putin as much as it is tempted to condemn Trump because of what he is doing as a despot in the United States, we'd be better off. But the situation is now extremely explosive. Antonio Guterres needed to be there. The United Nations flag needed to be there. And as an aside, I would say that more of the peacekeeping soldiers are Pakistani than any other. They are. It was more Pakistan that has given manpower to the United Nations. Now, I'm not impressed. We've got a real problem here because the United States has, under Trump, and in a way, it's just horrific. The people that Trump admires are dictators, and now at least I guess he's digging at Zelensky for not having elections, and there is some truth that needs to change. I don't know what the candidates are and who could run against Zelensky, who would be as good as, say, Churchill was during World War II, because Zelensky is more a Churchillian character, but it's significant that Churchill won the war and then was deposed or voted out of power. He wasn't, and then he came into power again later. So fine. It's just amazing what we forget. We remember and forget. After 30, for all of us, it's pretty much a relearning, a remembrance, forgetting, and trying to grasp for precedents. Transcendia, my country, is based on precedents. I want to know, I would like to see, if I had a question for both Russia and Ukraine, it would be, what international airports would you put on your land or give power to so that UN had fleet operations of airplanes, because that's the new port. That's the new way. And trade in the air, through the air, is an ocean. And the ocean's laws are what apply and should apply. And once you have a country like Transcendia that would be in every country and not of every country, you have a framework from which to work and which to influence the environment, because technology has to be transferred person to person. That's my thinking. I'm not going to go on right now because my thoughts are just reactive right now and they're not fully ordered. But this is bad. This is bad. This is very dangerous. And we needed the UN at the end of World War II, and we need the UN before World War III. Thank you.